I have a lot of updates for all y'all. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I haven't given you guys an update in a long time for all of the projects, so let's go ahead and start with this group right here. All right, let's go ahead and start with the wolf while I have him here in the front. Before he goes back to his hiding, let's go ahead and just give him some food, because I know if I don't give him food, he's going to leave. So let's go ahead and give him some Aquarium carnivores. Look at all that food. Getting excited now. Yay. Look at that. Really good eater. And yeah, man, he eats whatever I offer him, so it's perfect. Looking pretty good. Tail's messed up. This is what I was talking about in the beginning. I don't think this is gonna heal. I really don't think this is gonna heal. It's too close to the meat. It's way more than just finish that's broken. But yeah, man, it is what it is. It's a healthy looking fish. Those little markings kind of suck though, but I think over time it'll heal. Look, he ain't hiding. No hiding over here. You want some more? Maybe some more. Watch this. Put down the tube, and then it goes down. There you go. Yay. Nice. So since he's done eating, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys an update while we have him here. I know that he's probably gonna run in the back when he gets the opportunity to. So, and he's coming back. All right, good stuff. It is getting a little bit on the fat side. I don't really feed him too many pellets. Should be okay. But look at him. Color's looking good. And he's not skittish anymore. Honestly, when I first got this fish, it was so skittish that getting any kind of footage was pretty much impossible. But now, as you can see, he's chilling. He's just chilling. Oh, right when I say that, he goes to hide. Probably gonna come back out though. I'll give it like 10 seconds. He's right here, I see him. There he is. Yeah. So yeah, he's not skittish anymore. Super chill, super personable. And it's always at the front of the glass. So yeah, I'm happy about that. Should I give him more food? Nah. So yeah, this guy's max size only gets to about 8 or 9. So living in this tank for life is not going to be a problem, especially with all this vegetation that it can hide behind. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it get a little bit bigger. As you can see, still a young, growing wolf. The good thing about it is it's not picky at all. So feeding this guy certain things, it's no problem at all. And now he eats from a bowl, which is pretty funny. It's like a little puppy. This bowl is the only place that we feed this wolf, just because if we were to throw food in here, it would get lost. Like, let's say for example, we throw a pellet in here, he's not gonna find it. We throw a pellet in back there, it's not gonna find it at all. And this is the reason why we use this little saucer bowl to feed him in. When this wolf gets older, you're gonna start seeing its teeth poke out and stuff. It's gonna look super good. Too bad this tail is messed up though, but honestly, just as long as it's healthy, I'm okay with it. Let's see if it reacts to my finger like my old wolf. Doesn't care about the finger. My old wolf used to chase my finger, but this one is just kind of like, feed me pellets. Let me see if it reacts to pellets. Or maybe I have to go like this. Oh. Yeah. I'm not gonna feed you. You're dead. You're done for today. You're cut off, bud. The plants in here are doing really good. First, let's go ahead and start with the water lettuce. I stopped taking out the water lettuce so it can cover the whole top of the aquarium. And this is so the wolf doesn't want to jump. I figured that if there's a lot of floating plants at the surface, the wolf won't have any area to kind of like break out and jump. And even if it does jump, I have this lid covering it and stuff, so it's no problem. And on top of that, this amount of water lettuce is really good to remove nitrates and extra nutrients and stuff from these guys right here, which I'll cover later. Sponge filter is doing really good. This is the latest addition when it comes to the filtration of this tank. It's 2 sponge filters stacked on top of each other. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, we went ahead and took this space off right here and just connected them two so I can run one source of air. And it's a little bit more efficient when it comes to distributing this massive air pump, which is right there, between all of the systems in this garage. I do want to upgrade my air pump so I can run this thing right here and more filtration throughout all my projects, but stay tuned for my next project because I'm gonna be trying something new to add air for your guys' tanks. This one right here is doing pretty good too. It's not as much K1 as I wanted to add into this aquarium or have in this aquarium. As you can see, I have a whole bunch right here waiting to be used. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like when I'm able to find like a bigger bucket or something, I'll go ahead and just replace this bucket and add more K1 to it. But as for right now, it's okay. I kind of want to have like maybe a 10-gallon bucket so it sticks out to here and then goes all the way around the front. Just a little bit more room, a little bit more K1, so I'll have more biological filtration. Another thing that I added was a little bit more biomedia. I had some extras from a project I did over the weekend. I'll go ahead and show it later. It's for the goldfish tank. I went ahead and threw all of these in there as well. Might look a little bit ugly, but just remember that this is a sump for my main tank. So it's supposed to look like a filter, you know what I mean? I don't know if adding in just this right here in the aquarium like this does anything. If it wasn't in this tank right here, it'll be in my garage. So it'll be like in this bucket or something. Might as well just have it in the tank. Oh, look at this guy, decided to pop up out of nowhere. That's what he does. He just kind of chills all day. He has this whole tank to chill. So I think he's a pretty lucky wolf, man. You know, at the local fish store, you were just in a little box, waiting to be sold to somebody. And luckily you got me. Can we just appreciate this guy while he's here? Look at him. I'm going to take a picture real quick. Hold up. And he's gone. All right, let's go and give you guys updates on the goldfish. The first fish I want to give you guys an update on is the fantail. Honestly, nothing's really that different when it comes to this fish. The only thing is it's growing a really big wen now. It has an oranda-like wen, which is kind of different when it comes to fantails. Usually fantails have just like a big tail or something, but when it comes to the wen, they're not as crazy as this. So maybe it might be from the food I'm feeding, because I am feeding lionhead still. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below. The next fish I want to give you guys an update on is the new baby oranda. So cute, man. So cute, man. Look at the way it swims. Super excited. Let me see if I can get this one to hand feed. Let's see. Here. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Nice. Oh, this one wants to eat now. Oh, it's going down. It's going down. Good. Oh, come on. Oh, there you go. Nice. Let's mush this around so everybody can get some. And the reason why I mush it is because I want everyone to get a little bit of everything. And I don't want just my fantail just destroying all these peas with one swipe. So yeah, that's why we mush them, so everybody can get some peas. Damn, I just made the water dirty right before I was going to give you guys an update. Anyways, back to this oranda right here. It's doing pretty good. When I first got him, it was a little floaty. I don't know if it's floaty because it was too excited or something happened during the transport, but it was a little floaty. We went ahead and corrected that with peas as soon as possible, and then also fed a little bit of kenta and rapashi. So all the tips you guys gave me, I went ahead and just applied it straight to this fish. No risk. Nothing. I'm not risking anything for this one right here. That was a little bit of algae right there. Let me go and scrub that off. Speaking of algae, I'll go ahead and give you guys an update on the new plan for this little aquarium, and hopefully it'll make a lot of sense after we're done with this video. But anyways, this little girl right here is doing really good, eating anything, everything. It's chasing around this fantail a lot, but the good thing is the fantail doesn't mind, plays around with them pretty nicely. But hopefully when this fish grows up, it'll still retain its egg type of look right here. And hopefully it doesn't have any kind of like bad health problems and stuff. And the best part is this fish doesn't have any long poop trail, just like how this guy did. Before, these guys right here would have super long poop trails. And then one of my subs said that that might be a direct representation of the fish being constipated. So I went ahead and reduced feedings, started feeding more peas, more rapashi and stuff, and it corrected immediately. So you know who you are. Thank you for helping me solve my goldfish constipation problem. Okay, this guy. There's a reason why I chose this fish to be the last one to give you guys an update on. Look at its mouth. Do you guys see that? This fish decided to get stuck again. It got stuck behind that sponge filter all the way in the back and somehow damaged its mouth. Now it looks like it has a smirk, and it has a hard time trying to eat like big pieces of food, especially like peas that aren't mushed. And yeah, that's a problem. That's a big problem, especially when it comes to this fish right here. It's kind of expensive, so I honestly bought it just because it's a black Thai Manchu, and I want it to be mint, you know. So it damaging its mouth, it was a real big bummer. But the good thing is this one still is able to eat, so just as long as it's able to eat, I'm fine with it. If you don't remember from the beginning, this guy, within the first week of me getting him, got stuck behind another sponge filter that I took out because it damaged the scales on it and all that stuff, and it was horrible. I thought it was never gonna heal back up to being black. When it got stuck initially, it ripped off the black scales, and then it was bad. It had like silver markings on the side of it. Then eventually it healed and it's still black. So that's what I like about this goldfish, and the reason why I paid so much for it. Because if it was a cheap one, I assume that if it got scratched and the scales turned silver, it would stay silver. It wouldn't grow back like this color right here. So yeah, that's why I'm a little bummed out about this one damaging its mouth, but I mean, it is what it is. As long as it can still eat, as you can see right there, it can't open it, so you can't open it all the way. That's the bad part. Now I tried taking it out of the tank and pushing it out with a stick, but it just pops back into being dented. So I'm just gonna leave him alone. Hopefully he'll heal over time, but as long as he can eat a little bit, I'm fine with that. And besides, I guess that would be a good way to control its diet, as it won't be able to overeat and have bloating problems. So I guess it's kind of like a blessing in disguise. Okay, tank update time. So as you can see, I'm growing out the algae again, but this time I'm not growing it in the back walls. I'm only growing it at the bottom, and it's kind of working. It was working a lot better than my previous algae project. As you can see, there's a little bit of movement right there, and yeah, as you can see here too, some movement flowing from the current. And hopefully when this grows out a little bit longer and you know the goldfish stop doing that, I'm aiming for that grass type look, but as for right now, it's just a big long shot from there. The only type of grass type flowy type of movement I got is right here, and this is because of this new hang on bag we went ahead and added, because one of my subs mentioned that for the hair algae to grow or whatever, they needed some kind of current. I couldn't find a power head that was small enough for this tank because I only had, you know, power heads for this type of tank. And yeah, the next best resort was this right here, which is a hang on back. I think it's like a Aqua Clear 20 or something, pretty small, but it provides enough current to blow around over here. And as you can see, it does affect the algae because right underneath here, it's like clean algae, and then everything after that is like super dirty algae. I think that's from this current that's being pushed down into the floor. But honestly, these waves is looking a lot better than how I had it before, because before it just looked like it looked like this before. It's just like splotches of algae. But at least there's a little bit of wave here. There's some length to this right here. So for the guy that suggested it, thank you, I appreciate it. I thanked you on Instagram and all that stuff. Hopefully this does work, because if it works, I'm gonna go find my AC70 and put it on this tank, and that'll give way more than enough flow for this aquarium. And it's gonna look sick. The best part about this hang on bag right here is I have this sponge that's pretty much like that sponge back there. It's way more coarse so it doesn't get clogged easily, and then it has a really nice connector right there. I didn't find my adapter, so I had to like make a Eheim hose modification with zip ties just to connect it. But this is a really nice, I think it's old school type of sponge adapter for hang on bags and stuff. I used it for my ranchos back in the day when I had this canister running right here, and yeah, it just provides way more mechanical filtration. It serves as a good pre-filter for all this biomedia that's in here. And the best part is, like I said, it's a coarse sponge so it doesn't get clogged easily. One of my best videos on this channel, and it's probably how a lot of you guys found me, is a video about tips and tricks when it comes to hang on back filters. This is literally the epitome of that video, so if you guys want to check it out, I'll leave it up in the corner right here. Look at him. God, they enjoy this. Enjoy this. Oh, got blown in the face. Look at the amount of algae that covered this bottle. It's like a little fur bottle now. You can't even see the actual bottle anymore. Let's see if I can get some footage from up here. No, you can't see it, but it's super covered in algae. I think that's from all the flow that's coming out of the bottle. And yeah, man, it's looking pretty good. This thing is literally so covered that you can't even tell that there's K1 if you're like standing right here. Dude, it is hot as hell today. What the? Oh man, it's almost 90 degrees up in here. Wait, what? I didn't notice how hot it was in here, to be honest. Let me open up the garage. I'm dying. Alright, that's enough garage to open. Updates for these guys right here. So let me go ahead and start off with updates on my Enleys right here. So the plan is to move this guy and his buddy, which is, it's right here, right behind him, into the tank where the datinoid is. And the reason for that is the datinoid tank is by 24, so it's 24 inches wide. And it's a little bit wider than this tank out here, so they'll have a lot more room to grow. And then I'm gonna keep these laps outside. When I move these Enleys into the house, I'm gonna go ahead and move the 3 Aquariums out into this aquarium. That way they'll join the Geo, and then they can do their thing out here. I wish this guy would move so you can see the other Enley. It's literally right behind him. And look at this guy, doing pretty good. They're just as docile as they were before, and they're just super chill. So the next ones I want to give you guys updates on are these laps right here. They really like kind of like exploring around the plants and stuff. I think this is because little food scraps get lost behind here, and then it just kind of scavenges around and looks around and stuff. Ever since I put these plants in though, the fish don't really hide in them. They're always still in the back corners and stuff, or maybe like the back wall. They don't really like hiding in underneath the Anubias. The only one that like hiding under it is this one right here, and like I said, the little CB lap back there. Speaking of my smaller lap right here, this one, the growth rate is so slow. Either it's slow or it capped, but I have not seen any growth from this guy for a long time. This fish has stayed this small. I think it stopped growing maybe about like 4 or 5 months ago, to be honest. I think when it comes to the specimen though, I think depending on, like, let's say for example this piece right here, if it's been in a lot of generations like of captive bred or whatever, I think that hinders the growth of it. Like this one right here has not grown for a while compared to that one back there. Then Dubsy just decides to get some air and smash back down. For example, this one right here, it's not really fast when it comes to growth as well, but it's significantly bigger than this one right here. That's why I think when it comes to captive bred Bashirs, it might be a blessing in disguise to get a captive bred so it won't outgrow your tank. I love these two dearly. I think I can keep these two in this tank for a very long time, if not for life. And the only ones I really have to worry about is that one, and that wild caught right there. Speaking of the wild caught, once it comes out, I can give you guys an update on it. My favorite Bashir right here, my WC lap, or either that or first gen captive bred lap right here. Look how fat that tail is, dude. This Bashir has pretty much caught up with the Enley. Perfect time. Look at the size. It's pretty much caught up with the biggest Enley that I have. As you can see, they're lined up perfectly, and the wildcaught is a little bit curved, and they're almost the same length. This one right here grew so fast, dude. All of these guys eat the same things, pellets, the same market shrimp, the same tilapia, the same everything. And their difference in growth rate is like crazy. So I think when I move the 2 Enleys inside, this one right here is pretty much gonna run this tank. Hopefully it doesn't start fighting with these 2 laps, because I know that these 2 are really peaceful. I've never seen these 2 fight anybody, and it would be a shame if this wild caught whoops their ass. Here's the other Enley. This is the one that was behind the big one earlier. As you can see, it has a different shade of color compared to this one right here. This one has a nicer contrast compared to this one, but I like how this one looks a little bit more aggressive. This one is the alpha of this tank. It never had fin damage, never got beat up, and this is usually the one that causes havoc, but ever since it establishes dominance, there's no more fighting anymore. As you can see, all of the tails are mint now. Mint, 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 and mint. That's what I say about Bashirs. Once they find out who's the alpha, and once they set the hierarchy and stuff, it should be cool. Look at him, chilling. Look at the little lap, man. It grew up in this tank, and it still hasn't grown. Honestly, I see a lot of threads where people ask, oh, can I keep a lap in 40 gallon or 100 gallon and stuff. I honestly think it depends on the specimen, because as you can see, this guy right here, I'm pretty sure this one maxed out, and I think that would fit in the 40 gallon pretty easily. So those kind of questions are kind of iffy. I really think it depends on the specimen though, because this one has been in this tank its whole life, or at least with me, ever since it was young. There's no way that it got stunted in here. No way. Because if it did, this one would have got stunted too. And then these Enleys would have got stunted too. So I think when it comes to keeping Bashirs and tank size and stuff, it really all depends on the specimen. I would have no problem keeping this in a 40B, to be honest. I am planning a solar panel project for this aquarium right here, so stay tuned for updates on that. I think I'll be able to post that video in about a week or two. It just depends on when I get the solar panels in, but it's going to be for the Bashir tank and the wolf tank, not the goldfish tank. Goldfish have enough stuff going on there. So let me go ahead and give you guys an update on the datnoid tank. So I never really give you guys updates on this tank because I'm just waiting for the dat to grow, and I do want to move it out here, but since the tank inside the house, like I said, it's a lot wider, it's going to be better for the datnoid in the long run. And besides, we are moving the Enleys in there, so that's going to be a good combo, if you know what I mean. Some people still ask me about the climbing perch. I still have this fish. Just waiting for it to grow, honestly. It's supposed to max out at 12 inches, but it's still around like 5 or 6, so just waiting for it to grow just like the dat, and I'll give you guys updates later on when it gets bigger and stuff. But besides that, it's still healthy, it's still looking good. It's still one of my favorite fish because it's kind of like unique and stuff. It's not aggressive at all. I've seen a lot of people saying that like this fish is super aggressive, it attacks other fish, kills other fish and stuff. This whole time that I've had it, it's never been on like a crazy rampage at all. But yeah, this fish is good. I'm planning on keeping it for a while, and hopefully it grows out nicely for me because that'll be a really nice centerpiece fish one day. And the last group of fish in that tank is the 3 Acaras. I've had these guys for a very long time, honestly, a super long time, and they've grown out really nice. The only bad part about these Acaras is when they're in the tank inside the house with no substrate, their colors are a little bit washed out. I think if I added like a darker substrate, the colors would show a lot better. But as for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and keep it bare, and then I don't know, maybe we'll just add like garnet or something. I gotta find another source for garnet though. I'm glad I saved them, and I'm glad my pirate didn't kill them back in the day. And yeah, they're just really good fish to keep around. I was gonna talk about the Monte Carlo project while I'm here, but as you can see, I'm sweating in here and it's like super hot. I can barely sit still and stuff, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut the camera right now and turn it back on when we get back to the house. You like that transition though? Alright, so this tank right here is giving me the most problems. As you can see, it's looking good, right? Monte Carlo is growing really, really nice. Look how thick that is. The soil starts here, and the Monte Carlo is that thick. It's spreading nicely and stuff, but the problem isn't the plants. The problem is these little ember tetras. But yeah, almost all of my ember tetras just ended up killing themselves behind that sponge, and that's pretty much what happened with them. So now I'm stuck with 3 of them. And I tried adding in new fish, but that didn't go as planned either. Alright, so the first fish that I tried to add was a cobalt blue goby. That thing ended up living in this tank for 4 hours. I only had enough time with this goby to record like a couple videos, take some pictures of it. I'll go ahead and post it right here. And then right after I got done editing these pictures, I came back into the room and found it on the floor, just dead. It was bad. The second fish I tried to add in this tank was a scarlet batis. I had a lot of people recommending this fish to me for like tanks like this and my other 10-gallon aquarium. I tried using the scarlet batis for this tank, and then it ended up dying too. It ended up jumping out of the aquarium last night. Found it on the floor right here, like literally right here. At least it lasts a little bit longer than the cobalt blue goby. Cobalt blue goby didn't even last the night, and it jumped out of the aquarium and died. I could use a lid for this aquarium, but it's totally taking away the like aesthetics of this tank. And I was gonna do a DIY lid, but at the same time, I want this clean look. Like I want to just keep it like this, you know. I think for now though, I'm just gonna let the ember tetras do their thing, and then the cherry shrimp. We gotta talk about the cherry shrimp. They're blowing up. That is a nice looking shrimp right there. I think this one right here is a cherry shrimp, and then I'll show you the ones I think is a sakura. As you can see, the cherry shrimp, they have like this tiger pattern marking thing. I'm not 100% sure. You guys can correct me in the comments below, but I think this right here, I think this is a sakura. As you can see, like the colors are super solid. This one right here, I think is a cherry. This one right here, I think is a sakura. As you can kind of tell, like this one has the solid colors, and this one has like the patterns and stuff, just like the one we saw in the front. Hard to keep the camera focused because it's super macro, but that is a baby shrimp right there. I'm trying to focus, but let me just take a picture of it actually. I was trying to get footage of this guy, but I can't really see it through my lens right now. I'll go ahead and switch to my macro lens and I'll take some shots and show you guys on the screen. But in this little area right here, there's a baby shrimp. And what I'm trying to show you guys is my shrimps ended up giving birth in here. They started to release babies the other week, which is awesome. But yeah, ever since I added in the new fish, like the goby and the scarlet batis, all of a sudden they just started getting buried and they start releasing a bunch of babies and stuff. Maybe I didn't realize it. Right when I added in the goby, that's when I started seeing the first signs of baby shrimp. I wasn't planning on breeding shrimp in this tank, but obviously it's probably a good environment for them, even though there's not like crazy amounts of moss like in the wolf tank, and how that colony's breeding is amazing. I guess it's good enough to breed shrimp in this tank. So I think with the experience of having the baddest jump out and the goby jump out, I'm just not going to add any more fish in this tank. I'm not going to add a lid to this aquarium, so there's no point in me trying other fish. Anyways, I've come to the conclusion that this tank is only going to be a shrimp tank now, and most likely only going to be a cherry tank. Maybe I'll do other neocardina shrimp and stuff, but as for right now, the red sakuras and the really deep cherries look really nice to me, and I'm saving a lot of shrimp that I got from the wolf tank. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas on which type of fish that I can add into this aquarium that I don't have to worry about like jumping out of the tank and stuff, let me know down in the comments below. I know when it comes to this type of situation though, it depends on the actual specimen of the fish. If the fish itself is super skittish, it's gonna jump out no matter what, but if it's super confident and it doesn't really mind like humans and stuff, it should be okay. So these are the same ember tetras that I've had in this aquarium. Had about like 8 or 9 of them, and then for some reason they're so skittish that they're doing what the Ranchu does, and they get stuck in the back of this sponge filter. Like, look how much room there is. Little gap, and back here there's a gap there. You know, there's like no room for it to get stuck. By the time I find out that they're there, like you see, you can still see like the little pieces of them. They're all just, it's there, like that. Those little like pieces, that's their remains. Look how much room there is. Like, I don't know how they got stuck. The thing is, they would never try and jump out of the tank. That's a good thing about the ember tetras. But they would get stuck behind the sponge, and then by the time I check on them, they're either like super woozy and they're on their way, or they're like super rotten and they're dead. So it's like, I can't even do anything about it, and they just die. So that's it for the inhabitants of this tank. Let's go ahead and check out the plants though. This is crazy. I've never had Monte Carlo grow this fast before. So you can see, this is a really thick sheet of Monte Carlo. Let me get some light real quick, show you guys. Look how thick this the soil is here, dude. The soil starts all the way down here, and it grew this thick. It's crazy. I think I know the reason why this area right here is super thick. So I've been dosing Flourish Excel into this aquarium because I don't have a source of CO2. Even though Monte Carlo doesn't require CO2, I think having this in the system, it wouldn't hurt. And the thing is, I've seen this like make plants grow crazily, and I think that's the product of this super thick side of the Monte Carlo compared to, like, you know, back there, and then compared to this side right here, it's like nothing. It's growing underneath the soil. That's the weird part. Look at that. It's crazy thick. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I just wanted to give you guys an update on all of my tanks, especially this one right here. Now, I definitely learned my lesson with those 2 previous fish. I'm just gonna keep it the way it is. I'm gonna try and take care of what I got right now, especially when it comes to growing out this Monte Carlo, making it as even as I possibly can, and then taking care of these cherry shrimp babies and stuff. And then hopefully these 3 ember tetras will last a lot longer than the others did. When it comes to adding in fish into this tank, I think I'm just gonna leave it as is though. If you guys have any ideas and stuff, leave them down in the comments below. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and peace, guys.